today, and we're saying goodbye to a very unique man. He's been with us for 37 years, so I think very few people can say on their retirement that they've spent 37 years with the one company. Hands up those of you who weren't born in 1978 when I joined us. I hope you captured that. Certainly, I think over the many, many years, Mike has built up such a huge network of friends. So many people have wanted to pay tribute to Mike. So normally we have one speaker, but because of your extensive network of colleagues and friends, we're going to have 3 people pay tribute to you today. First, on behalf of the Galway site here, Cormac will speak on behalf of us all here. Then after that, we have David O'Gorman. Mike, as you know, is well known far beyond Galway, all the way to as far as Ballinlough and Ballymena, down to Madrid, over to Athens, up to Oslo, over to Moscow, as far away as China, where I believe you've visited 3 times, and to Australia and New Zealand. So on behalf of the many people in the field, our dealers, our service engineers, sales managers, regional directors, David will say a few words. And last but not least, there are 7 of us in the warranty team who have who worked so closely. I promised myself this wouldn't happen, but it has. Mike will talk to you on our behalf, so I'm totally incapable we will miss you very much, and I think when you leave us, certainly our team, as the Irish expression goes, ni like a lehead villain, not dar Kajori, so there'll never be another Mike Kelly.
Very well said, Mary. Before we handed Mike over to the rest of the organisation, we had the benefit of his experience in the operations side. So part of Mike's 37 years with TK was spent in the main operations of the plant. But before he joined us, I don't know if a lot of you know that Mike used to work with the Royal Mail, if I'm not mistaken, in the UK. Mike worked on our truck line, the old truck line that was, as a supervisor, moved into the quality area. He was our special agent on a mission to Petter back in the day when Petter was acquired by Thermochin. The only man that could be trusted with the road over every week to Southampton, I think it was, yeah. Mike. Legendary for all sorts of tasks, working through weekends on control box checking and making sure that everything was tip-top. We all know Mike's dedication to detail and his fanaticism about what he does. So finally Mike moved into the warranty role, tough lifestyle. Particularly rising to the challenge of all that travelling that was needed and the fine dining. I'm told that Mike became a connoisseur of brandy. And red wine, sorry Mike. A necessary part of the evil Mike. So he was, in fact, it's known that Mike was on first name terms with the ushers of most of the executive lounges in the airport around Europe. So, but in fairness to Mike, he has a lot of personal traits that people may not be aware of. His generosity to his colleagues is well known. He was very active in organising the travel club back in the day. He was very active in the darts and in the soccer clubs in Thermopylae. In fact, not sure about the validity of this mic, but I have it on good authority that you actually got trials with Fulham back in the day. There's someone who questioned that. I'm told it's 100% true. In fact, Mike was unfortunately a personal friend of Tony Grealish's, Irish international, and it was a fond relationship. I know that you had, Mike. There were incidences of darts matches dotted around Connacht with some spurious characters from the UK, including about Pete Power, who maintains that Mike had an arrow-like shot. There were a couple of other characters that unfortunately I think are no longer with us. Tom Conley and Gresham. Mike Gresham, sorry. So yeah, Mike's skills are legendary. He's also known to be a keen golfer, especially in the mixed foursomes, I believe. Their speciality. Really, I should hand over to my colleagues who probably have spent more time in knowing you than I have, Mike. But I would say that from my own experience at the service managers' conferences and in dealing with your colleagues through the plant, you're a likeable rogue. I haven't heard anybody say a single bad word about you, Mike. They say that even after giving it welly, you come in the morning with a smile on your face. You're always positive, and people really appreciate having worked with you for so many years. So I'd just like to thank you from my behalf and present you from all of your colleagues' behalves with a small token. I'll pass the baton
over to David. David.
Thanks, Cormac. It's hard to follow something like that. I suppose, from a personal perspective...
Just pretend you're following me instead.
Don't go quite that far. From a personal perspective, I'm kind of close to Mike. On my very first day in Thermopylae, Mike met me at the door and he had my name on the board. Thermopylae welcomes David O'Gorman. And there was not another sinner in the place that knew I was here. The only reason is because the previous week, we met in Marshall's, he was doing a quality audit, and that's the only reason anybody in Galway knew I was coming to work for Thermopylae. So, from that perspective, we've always gone on well together. But just to build on some of the points that Cormac and Mary had said, I don't think in my travels in Middle East, Africa, Eastern Europe and Europe, I don't think there's a single dealer out there that doesn't know Mike's name. They all have tremendous respect for him. The same with the field service managers and the area sales managers, and tremendous respect for Mike. There's one thing that everybody says. If you ring Mike, you'll get an answer. It may not be the answer you want, but you'll get an answer. And what the dealers say is, he's a great negotiator. A fantastic negotiator, and it usually ends with, no, you can't have it. But, they all take it on board, and he's built up a tremendous rapport with the dealers. As Cormac said, here in Ireland and across Europe, everybody knows Mike. So I can go on and say whatever we want to do, but I think for me, they're the key attributes that Mike has brought to the business. Tremendous amount of respect outside and internally in the factory. So on behalf of the field team, the area service managers, and indeed the area managers, and all the dealers, we'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you very much, Mike. And your help. And we do have one dealer in the picture at least, Martin from Norway, got his head inside and I've never seen the area service manager cleaned up as well as that. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, David.
Look, on behalf of the warranty department, it's sad day for us, but look, we're talking about a legend here. That word is bandied around a lot these days, legend. But you know, he's, as Cormac says, he probably has more air miles than Richard Branson. He's eaten in more restaurants than Paolo Trulio. He certainly has played more golf courses than Jack Nicklaus. You know, I was asked to think of a few funny stories about Mike, and I have loads. I could write a book, but unfortunately it's only 12:10. And we'll keep them for the pub tonight. Okay? But I remember the first time I started a long time ago, and I was introduced to my supervisor at the time. For the first 2 hours was Jackie Burke, and after the initial piss pulling down the floor, I was sent up to Martin Collins for a Bucklish Dean. And I came back with my tail between the legs, and then I was sent up for a bucket of striped paint. I was eventually handed over to Mike, and Mike said to me, come down here, be now, young man, and we'll show you what we do. And Mike was looking after Red Tag, which was the rework area down at the end of the truck and trailer line at the time. And Mike said to me, now this is a Red Tag, and this is my casualty area, okay? And all these white things are fridges that are broken, and they're my patients, okay? And we have to get the patients out the back door, but we don't let them out the back door till my name is there, and when my name is there, that means they're 100%. And this day, it's lived with me, that story, and that just tells you a bit about Mike. Everything is 100%. And apart from work, he's been a great colleague. Do you know, if you rang Mike at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, Mike, I'm stuck here, I need to do something or whatever, he'd be there on your doorstep. And it's, as Mary said, it's a sad day for us all, because we've had great times, but I'd say you'd all agree with me, if you look at him now, you'd probably think he's better looking and fitter looking than he was 36 years ago. So, Mike, on behalf of us all, thanks a million. Thanks, Mike.
Unfortunately, we have only 4 glasses on the I'd just like to say thanks to all the people for turning up here, and of course all the people in the factory who I haven't got around to saying goodbye to yet before I leave. Yeah, I did travel a fair bit with Thermo King. Unfortunately, not half enough. I should have done twice. I know I was concerned when I was down in Australia a couple of times, and the times I was in China, spending all that money. I probably know nearly everybody, I'm sure, in the office bar, some of the new people. I know, I suppose, 75% of the people in the factory floor, and 37 years, it doesn't even feel like 7. You know. As my wife says, you know, you think and act like you're 25 most of the time. But I could probably count on one hand all the people in the office and the factory that I fell out with for a half an hour or so. Now I fall out with people in my own department regularly. We kill one another. We fight over everything, but 5 o'clock we kiss and make up, and that was it. So, thanks a million for all the presents, and thanks for coming down. Thank you.
Start.